What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to react to the Arknights 4.5 anniversary live stream announcements. We're going to pull up the live stream and just kind of go through it and look at a few key points of things that were revealed, trailers and stuff like that. We'll react to those things, the merch that was announced, and the stuff that's to come in the upcoming banner in a few days. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, guys, so we've got the live stream pulled up here. First things first, they had this adorable little animation of the beans, which everybody adores the beans. We never got them as far as like global merchandise, but I see people with them all the time, playing with them, the little plushies. They're the bean forms of the dragons, the Sui siblings. And this is kind of a cool little animation that they just did, and it loops throughout the countdown, but we see little hidden characters. Like there was the frog at the beginning there that also pops up here in a bit that to me looks like Blue Poison. Blue Poison, we have Calcit. Of course, we know who the four siblings are. This, I believe, is Shirayuki, the frog with the zero. I didn't catch that before, that's funny. But this one looks like Shirayuki, the mask, the white color, and then the pinwheel that looks like her shuriken. Then we have Doctor and Irene. Duck Lord. You guys remember the Duck Lord? And this just keeps, it looks like a mini game. It's adorable. And there goes bean number 2. Here goes bean number 3. And now we have Amiya. Amiya hiding over here. Well, not really hiding, but you get it. Not sure who this one's supposed to be. That one's slipping me for some reason. There's Golden Glow. I think this looks like Lynn. It's supposed to be Lynn, maybe. Got the little ear tag and stuff, but it's a mouse, rat, whatever you want to say. This one, maybe Palace? I don't know. I think this is supposed to be Cardigan and maybe Steward. Steward and Cardigan. See, there's another frog, so Blue Poison. So there's like 3 of them total. Then this is going to loop over now, so that's going to loop to the beginning. And like I said, we're going to skip through parts here and we'll just watch what's important. But it kicks things off with a trailer here, a really cool cinematic trailer. And again, I watched all of this already, so I just want to kind of react to it and go over things with you guys that I think look really cool. And now, I'll preface this by saying that I'm not completely up to par on all the lore with the Sui siblings and stuff like that. So like, I don't know what the deal is with this guy, why he looks similar to her. Is he related somehow, or is he part of the problem or whatnot? But that's something I'm still learning. And I talked about that in my playthrough of Where Vernal Winds Will Never Blow rerun. But you guys probably won't see that for a while yet, because I've got all kinds of other event stuff to edit and put out first. This cinematic is beautifully done. There's Zwala. Learned how to pronounce his name from this video. Amiya and Neon say it later. They are always on par with the cinematics, the visuals, the music. The Arknights team, Yostar and Hypergriff, they're amazing. The artwork is always incredible too. Go board. I only recently learned how to play Go, like about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. Very interesting. I remember, like, we're always on the global server, we're always behind by like 6 months-ish from when China gets these events and things like that, and when they get their announcements. But I remember the day that this got announced for there, and I was waiting for, I think my oldest had a hockey game, and we were at the away arena, and he was getting dressed. I was waiting for it, and I was getting all the notifications that there were screenshots and things coming out of the Chinese event. Oh, the koi fish and stuff, those are pretty. And I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, this looks really cool. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what it what everything's about and learn more when it comes to global. And so far, I'm kind of getting a vibe that I didn't really expect. Like, it seems like much darker of a story piece than what I thought it was going to be. But here are People Sows, it's called. That looks really, really cool. I'm excited about that.
Oh, it looks like the camera's all set
and we've got our Amiya.
Oh, Doctor, please watch your step. Careful you don't trample the crops behind you.
So we got our little Amiya VTuber going on here, which is cool.
With life.
But
a sight we
I just want to point something out.
Rhodes Island. It's really a very special place. Nian invited us here to the northern Yanese city of
So we're in the Yan
Dahong,
territory again, but we're in this city, Dahong,
but they have more
and we're
going
to be learning a bit more about it.
They have a Tianchi bureau here too.
But
we met so many Tianchis on our way here.
Throughout the video, throughout this place, or this presentation, we see the beans pop up a few times, and it's kind of funny.
Making it an important breadbasket for Yan since ancient times. Although most of the land is now heavily polluted after an unprecedented catastrophe. But thanks to the hard work of the agricultural
So they pop up on the side here. There's a couple different times. They just pop up and run across the screen or do something goofy, like here, they're going to tackle each other.
Dahong also hosts the annual Shennong Rites, featuring their local opera, temple
So she's just kind of talking about the culture of the place. But we're going to see...
happened before we connect with Nian.
We're going to see another story trailer here, another cinematic. And this one's really, really cool. Like I said, they're always on point with these cinematics. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but her color scheme reminds me of the Earth, reminds me of like a globe, different colors and stuff that you'd see on there. Maybe they're a little more enhanced and a little more vibrant on her, but it's just the vibe I get. But I could be completely wrong about that. Wow. And he's the Sui regulator candle holder, so obviously he's there to investigate something, which is really cool. Anxious to find out what it is. Like I said, this is giving a very much darker vibe. You see the blight spreading through the water. They explain a little bit about that here later. And how that works as far as a gameplay mechanic, which is cool. Kind of looks like it's going to be a pain. Interesting. Go piece. They showed the Go board in the previous trailer that we saw. Ooh, wait a second. I just made a connection. I'll explain that in a minute once we're through this trailer. Oh, that's so cool. Her weapon is so cool too. That is neat. I just noticed her necklace kind of looks like little stone pieces and stuff connected by like a thin wire. Almost looks like when you see like a building that like rubble or something, like a wall had collapsed and you got the stone in the bar and stuff sticking out of it. That's kind of what that reminds me of. Interesting. Okay. So I just made a little bit of a connection before we continue here. Just something interesting. There's the imagery of the Go board and them playing with the pieces and things. And obviously that's like that's intended to be a little bit of like a cultural nod, but also at the end of Where Vernal Winds Will Never Blow, Chongyue comes across somebody playing Go. And he looks, but you don't know the voice, you don't see who it is, you don't hear who it is. But they mentioned that they taught him how to play. And he's looking over the board and he's talking to this person, and he just kind of mentions about things, you know, how to make moves, how the game could end, and the person's like, look again. So he looks again and he thinks of something else. And then at the very end, the person says something about, we'll see each other again soon. Kind of sounds like they're threatening something because Chung Yue says to him about, or her, or whatever it is, he says to this person that he says something along the lines of, if they plan on causing trouble, that he'd stop them, something to that effect. So we don't know. We don't even know if it is a person for sure. For all we know, it could be one of the more animal type, like Wei and Wu, or the characters like that. It could be something like it could just be an entity, for all we know. But he knows whoever it is, and it was centered, that last scene there before Chung Yue leaves. Human is centered around that whole go board and that character and things, and he goes and he leaves then right after. It makes me wonder if that's connected to this. If this person or whoever it is, that the entity that we seen move that piece, was that whoever that was in Human? Are they causing trouble here? Is that going to involve him? Makes me think, makes me wonder. But just a little connection that I picked up on just now. I didn't think of that before. Now we get Neon.
Grow crops in originally polluted land. Transform.
Her and Ami are going to talk here for a bit.
But what brings you here in the first place? What are the valves and pumps in the fields for?
Now we're going to get our first little look at like the gameplay, but it's going to be at a little bit of a comical look at first. So this is interesting. This is pretty funny.
It's tricky to explain how they work, but I just so happen to have a demo here. So let's take a look together.
This is cool. So it's done in this little comic-y art style.
Earlier.
Wow, you recognize it? My sister's been in Da Huang for years on account of these fields. They're as important to her as smelting is to me.
What's that?
So now we got, this is a look at the enemy. One of the enemies, the base ones.
Seeds she found in the permafrost, only to end up tainted by the demons. These are demonic creatures born out of that soil. If we leave them to their own devices, the land's gonna end up polluted by their blight.
So this is something that we'll have to deal with in this event.
Look over there.
You have to be careful of the blighted water.
Is that Swallow? The water
See how it changed.
standing in turned red.
We'll get actual
hurting
in-game
him.
looks of it soon too.
Oh? The Sui regulator boy ain't half bad though. He knows to call for backup. Those things are spreading blight across the rice field. The redder the water, the heavier the pollution.
So these
Anyone
three, and then of course Shu, and we'll see more about them soon, but they're also going to be our
not like we can't do
new
about the
operators
blight
introduced
either.
here with the event.
Look behind him.
Behind? Oh, I see.
So we have our throttle valve.
valves.
Clever girl. There's no blight over there because that valve is doing its job. It stops the polluted water from spreading. But these valves aren't like the armor I forge. Even a teeny tiny field musk can destroy one with ease.
So you have to be careful.
Anyhow, we gotta deal with the
cool. We have to be careful and protect the throttle valves.
Key to that. You can install them on high ground.
Where's
They'll
Willa?
pump in water from behind and spray it forward.
He just gets wrecked by the water.
That's how we clean up the pollution.
I've heard it.
So basically what we have to deal with is we have, of course, the enemies, but the enemies can spread the blight in the water. And if your operators are stationed in the water, they're going to take damage. So you have to be careful. You have to keep them healed, things like that. But you can pump clean water from one of the other areas across to clean up the blight, to clean up the water. However, you also have to protect the throttle valves because if the enemy damages it, it rotates, lets the blight through to the other side. So that's going to make it a little more difficult.
What you're seeing now is filth, a fabrication born.
So now these are the different enemies that we'll encounter during the event, which is cool.
Won't they spread pollution moving around with that blight on them?
So this is just our base enemy, our little one. So the equivalent of our Originium slugs or something to that effect.
Can hide in the polluted fields.
Huh? Wait,
now we have the Field Musk Bruiser.
Must be dashing across the fields over there.
So it's a big mousey.
Now that's a Field Musk Bruiser. It can destroy throttle valves and is only blockable by units with 3 block count or higher.
That's going to be a little pain in the butt.
If it takes damage while unblocked, it'll speed up for 5 seconds.
So 3 block or higher kind of reminds me of some of those events and things where we dealt with like the big vehicles, or like for instance in Lone Trail, there was those like vehicle machine things that moved that you could only block them with a 3-block or higher operator, and that made that a pain if you didn't have good defenders or somebody that could block that. So just something to keep in mind.
You better not underestimate these guys. This one's a blemish, a fabrication that can spread blight and absorb water.
This one's got a really high
to attack our
range.
melee units anywhere on the map.
Its attack range is so wide.
Yeah, they're tricky to deal with, but there's more.
It's like it drains the blight. The animation's draining the blight and then shooting it.
Deal arts damage and pollute the target tile with more blight.
Oh, looks like we'll have to make good use of those throttle valves and pumping stations.
So if you can clean up the tiles and things,
it looks like a stock beast.
You make things easier,
quite docile too.
Oh? Don't let your guard down. That's a basal miasma, and they get really dangerous after absorbing blight. Defeat it, and it'll regenerate on the spot while absorbing any blight under its feet, increasing its defense proportional to the amount absorbed, and it
very
starts
tanky
dealing
enemy.
arts damage.
We'll need to figure out a way to deal with it quick.
You can say that again, but it's not even the biggest problem on our plate.
And then here, this seems to be our boss fight.
Is an apparition born from the awakened Faramud.
It sounds so dangerous from that description alone.
It's funny that they basically just show like Surtur like soloing
I wonder
it.
if this thing showing
like, is that a hint?
Anything to do with
is that what we're supposed to do?
The ass brother of mine. But back on topic. After taking a certain amount of attacks, Slumbering of Sui will shed its skin, pollute the fields at its location with blight, and gain increased stats. When its HP drops to 0 for the first time, it melts into the water, continuously summoning enemies and entering an enlightened state when reborn.
Could you elaborate on that enlightened state?
It's a state where Slumbering of Sui is immune to control effects and marks any allied unit that attacks it.
What happens to our operators when they get marked?
When they leave the field, Slumbering of Sui will pollute the fields with intense amounts of blight at its location.
So the best thing is, it seems, if your operators get marked, try not to retreat them. Don't let them leave the field. Don't let them die. Try to keep them alive, because otherwise that's going to make things massively more difficult for you in that particular area. That's my take on that.
It'll continuously absorb and condense blight into a spear that deals a large amount of arts damage, and it prioritizes.
You need high arts
operators
defense
too.
as well.
That sounds like a serious threat. Does it have any weaknesses?
Phase 1 looks easily soloed by Surtur.
It has reduced defense, resistance, and movement speed on fields unaffected by blight. Same deal if you scour it with unpolluted water.
That just might be our key to victory. I hope we'll manage to control the spread of blight and defeat Slumbering of Sui in one fell swoop, with the help of our operators and equipment.
The map itself for that doesn't look like that bad of a fight. I mean, we have this to deal with down below, but
why don't we watch it
kind of crazy. Looks like a simplistic battlefield, so that the field itself might not be too much to worry about. All right, but here we go. We got another little bit of a cinematic that's gonna show us the characters and things, which is cool. The past becomes legend, the legend shines on the present. Sea, land, mountain, and river change with the world. The dream of 10,000 Qing of fertile land will come true. All under heaven live for profit and die for profit. The account has been kept for 1,000 years. Feel every single thing that happens on this patch of dirt. It goes by so quick I can't read it all, but still. Wan Sheng, so he's our free operator, our welfare operator for the event. Grain Buds. Supporter, decel binder. Zuala. And then of course, Shu. She's a guardian, defender guardian. Continent is still Snow White. And of course, as usual, Shu is limited, so she's a limited operator. Meaning that this banner is your best way to get her, and then in the future she'll be part of other limited banners. But you definitely, this is going to be one of those that's hard to miss. And then of course we have new outfits as well. Highmore, Honeyberry, that one's just adorable, I love her outfit. Lynn's Heavenly Mirage, which is so pretty. I love this outfit. I need to get this for my Lynn on my main account. And then Chungyue is a lighting outfit. New operator records, modules. And then, of course, we're getting Lungman Lucky strips for the event. Record restoration for an obscure wanderer. We have different furniture and stuff coming, which is pretty cool. All right, so here we're going to look at the characters, the individual characters, and what they do.
Spent a lot of time handling stock beasts. She's able to talk to all kinds of animals.
Really? Does a mystical power like that actually exist?
I was skeptical too, but soon after she arrived at Rhodes Island, I started hearing mystical stories about her. Like the one about her communicating with a storm cloud beast to find its lost kin.
Wow! I do remember hearing a story like that. So it turns out it was about grain bugs. Sounds like things will only get more interesting
I'm intrigued
at
by
Rhodes Island with her
things
around.
on her head.
Grainbud's skills suit
cool.
her character pretty well. She's a supporter operator who can briefly slow enemies. She can also inflict sleep on 3 enemies within her attack range for a period of time. Afterwards, she gains increased attack speed and attacks up to 3 enemies simultaneously.
That's awesome.
Neat.
So you get a multiple enemy attack, but they can go to sleep as well.
And create a window for our other operators, allowing them to concentrate and unleash their firepower, disrupting the assault.
She makes an effective combo if you set her up with a nuker or 2. She's
then we have Wan
onboarding
Qing.
with Wan Qing, an agricultural Qianxi apprentice of the Yanese Qianxi bureaus. He does the whole Qianxi thing in Dahuang too.
An agricultural Tianxi? That sounds like an awfully impressive title.
Yep. Qianxi literally means heavenly master in Mandarin Yanese. It's a respected
And he's a
title
standard
that
bearer,
comes with
so
some serious responsibility.
it's kind of like
You
a new
gotta pass
Myrtle,
a
it
few
seems,
brutal
with a
exams,
couple
really
whole
know your stuff, and pull off
things
a
to him,
major
couple little
agricultural
quirks.
achievement or 2 to finally pick up the title.
That's amazing. To earn an appointment like that at his age? He must have done some phenomenal farm work to accomplish that.
Yeah, he throws all his free time into agricultural research too. Sometimes even I feel like I gotta ask him to take a break when I see him splitting hairs over a problem for an entire day. Where can I get me a guy so committed to chili pepper cultivation? Dreaming of the perfect spice.
She wants a guy into spices.
Sorry, I
She
didn't
wants a
catch
spicy
that.
man.
What did you say, Nian?
Neon.
Nothing. Let's get back to Wan Qing's skills. As a vanguard operator, he'll be out there in combat recovering DP for you
This is
and the
pretty cool.
operators. When he activates his skill, he stops attacking and gradually generates DP over the
So
skill
again,
duration,
just like
while
Myrtle.
also restoring a certain amount of surrounding
But
operators'
that is cool.
HP
That is a
every
neat little
second,
effect.
and also increasing their attack speed if they're deployed in the same direction.
So
as
he
So
heals,
we should arrange
and if
the
they're
other
facing the
operators'
same
deployment
direction,
around
and they're
Wanqing,
in his
and
range,
ideally
they
in
will
the same
heal
direction
and
as him,
get
too.
increased attack speed. That's
Let
pretty
me
neat.
note that down.
That kind of helps to
Improves
make
your
up for
DP
his,
and HP recovery,
like, having
as
to
well as your
stop.
attack speed.
having to stop
That triple
and
buff
generate
will
the
be a great
DP.
help to our combat operations. Now then, I believe we have 2 more guests soon to arrive at Rhodes Island.
Sparkly Amia.
Yeah, that'd be my sister Shu and Sole.
I didn't expect the candle holder to join Rhodes Island, but I am
He's a solo
curious.
blade.
What
Solo
is he
blade
doing
guard,
in
which is
Dahuang
cool.
in the first place?
I can't be bothered with Sui regulator business. But I guess the short version is, those stuffy nerds sent him to watch over things for them. Although, he didn't exactly jive with Da Huang at first. In this city, you gotta work for your meals. He didn't know how to do anything when he showed up. Though, he did kind of figure out how to help with the farm work pretty quickly. I do gotta hand it to him for that.
Cua Le's hardworking nature surely has something to do with him becoming a candle holder at such a young age.
Guess I can hand him that too. As a solo blade, Cua Le can't be healed by others, and instead recovers his own health by attacking the enemy.
There's a couple other
When he
operators that are
activates
like
his
that.
skill,
They can't
he
be
immediately attacks
recovered by
7
others, but
times
still.
in front, dealing
His range is
increased
pretty
physical
cool.
damage to a maximum of 3 enemies simultaneously, and the last hit also stuns them. But instead of recovering HP, he gains a barrier equal to several times the amount of
That's
HP
cool.
he would
The
have
extra
recovered.
barrier is really neat.
It looks like he'll be really useful when facing high-pressure enemies at close range. He can inflict high amounts of continuous damage while keeping his HP up.
Yep, you just gotta be careful where and when you deploy him. Make sure you don't expose him to long-range enemies, or his lack of attack opportunities and restrictive HP recovery will send him off the field early.
I can see that. If we deploy him properly, I'm sure Cua Le will work miracles on the battlefield.
Yeah, but that's enough about the kid, Amiya.
And
Let
now
me cut to the chase
we get to
and tell
Shu.
you about my big sister. Actually, let's watch this video about the legend of Shennong before I introduce her. You'll definitely have a clearer picture of Shu if you get the Shennong deal.
That's so. Again, the artwork,
I find
She's-
myself
she's just-
reflecting on those years.
gorgeous.
The vast fields, the scent of rice flowers. I recall those legends of yore, tales that tell of the divine Shennong. Setting the 4 seasons, dividing the 5 grains, she taught the people to cultivate the land, turning wastes to fertile fields. But catastrophes are unpredictable. Wind, frost, rain, snow. Too many disasters can ruin the hard-won crops. She sought a place of safety where the people would not know the pain of hunger. In her limited time, she was helpless. And yet, there is always hope.
I used to have one of those brain teaser
The
puzzle things that looked
vicissitudes
like
of
that.
life. The people rebuilt their
Of course not
homes
with the dragon,
time and
but
again atop the
That
ruins.
design.
Springs came and autumns went, until one day, Shennong too left us. Some say she became a part of the land. Lo, the rice fields we harvest year after year, those are the proof that she was here.
All right,
It
so
seems
here's
like
Shu.
this Shannon legend is quite popular in Yan.
Yeah, it's the reason why the people of Da Huang take agriculture so seriously. They went from tilling the land plot by plot with hoes in their hands to modern
there's the little
machine-powered
beans again.
agriculture. And it couldn't have been done without generations of hard work on the
And
part
down
of
the
the
fi-
Da
down the hill
Huang
they go.
people.
Tumbled.
And that includes my sister. Shu is both an agricultural Tianshi and instructor at the Tianshi Bureau. She's been out there mentoring talents with a serious passion for mastering their tech like Wanjing,
Excuse me.
all while keeping the local farms thriving on her own.
Shu has contributed so much to Dahuang. You could say she's made the city what it is today.
Of course, and her skill set covers more than just farming. As a guardian, her skills
This is
allow her
awesome.
to heal allies and attack enemies at the same time. When she activates her skill, her healing range increases and so does her attack. When she heals an ally, she also sows the target tile along with its 4 adjacent tiles. Any enemies on
She's
sowed
got like
tiles will increase
like
our
a plus
allies'
shaped
attack and
range,
attack speed.
which is
When
cool.
an enemy passes through a sowed tile, it gets teleported right back after moving 4 tiles away from the sowed tile.
Wow. We can count on her skills to not only keep our operators on the field, but also disrupt the enemy's attack tempo
Yep.
and strengthen our damage output.
That teleport
at the
is going to
same
come in
time.
so much handy.
You got it. Her skills are just
That's
like
an
the woman
interesting-
herself. She supports
Interesting
everyone
ability.
in her own way.
Shu brings hope and strength to the people.
And you're
All
the
right, so of
first
course,
one to hear about this. That's
Wanjing is our free
confidential info,
operator, so
keep it
we'll
to
get him
yourself.
for free through the event, through playing the event.
My lips are sealed.
Now there's the sky poles,
Also,
which we
you
saw those in the
probably don't
trailer,
know this yet,
but those are
but
going to be
if you
the
bring your
in-event
sky
currency,
poles to the
so
Shandong market,
you'll
you
trade
can
them in at the
exchange
market
them
to
for
get different
all
items,
kinds of
which
good
is cool.
Stuff like Wanqing's tokens, exclusive Dahuang Tianxi garden furniture, headhunting permits, and
Just like
on
always.
and on.
Materials
Oh,
and such.
I almost forgot.
This is cool, too.
Hibiscus has her Night Watcher outfit in there too. Basically, it's got everything you might want.
So lots of neat
Well,
things
they're
in there.
certainly calling out to me.
We've
And then, of
talked
course,
so
here's
much
your
about the
banner.
place. We can't
And again, Shu is limited, so being that she's a limited operator, this banner is dedicated to her. However, in the future, it's not that she's going to go into standard or anything like that. Now, Zola and Grain Buds, and they'll go into standard, but Shu will only be a limited operator. She will only appear on future limited banners. So if we get another limited operator or a limited character to where they decide she's going to be one that they put into the banner as well, you'll be able to get her. Now, like as a possibility, I should say. Now, the one thing that's neat about that as well is on this banner, it doesn't say anything in this video about it. However, on the social media posts that they've been making, where they typically on the Arknights official social media, they'll put out posts and things to kind of lead up to the event. And what they'll do is they'll show off some more details and some things that you can read and see about what's coming. And you'll get that information as to who's going to go into standard after the banners are completed and so on and so forth. They explain that some previous limited operators will also be available in the form of Chongyue, Ling, and Dusk, I believe. Yeah, so I was right. It is. It is Chongyue, Ling, and Dusk. They will also appear on the limited banner. So the only Sui sibling that is not appearing on this one is Neon. However, keep an eye out, because sometimes what they do with these limited banners is you have a, like, I don't particularly see anything on here as far as an announcement about it yet, but in a lot of cases, what they do is they will do a focus selection thing where once you hit so many pulls, if you haven't gotten the operator, the next 6-star is guaranteed to be that one. And in a lot of cases for these limited operators, it's 300 pulls. Now, if you manage to get them, then those pulls generate these limited headhunting token things, and you'll take them into the certificate shop. There will be a special certificate section for them. And a lot of times they will put past limited operators in there as well that you can transfer those tokens into. You can get one of those operators. I don't know if they're doing that with this banner. I didn't hear anything about it. Again, it's not in the social media posts. So if that's the case, if it does happen, it's kind of going to be a little bit of a surprise. Who knows who's going to be in the shop if that's the case, but we'll see in just a couple of days here, July 31st.
can't leave out the expert on agriculture, my elder sister, Shu.
Reap of millennia. It's Shu and Suala. Shu has such a gentle yet valiant aura about her. Toile might not be good at farm work, but he has plenty of combat experience and looks pretty handsome when he's wielding a sword.
Yeah, he looks so much better with a sword in his hands than a hoe.
That can be taken one of two ways.
The doctor
But anyways,
will get to know these 2 new operators via the limited headhunting banner.
now, another thing that's cool is we will all be getting a free limited 10 pull for that particular banner. So this will only apply to the Reap of Millennium banner. So you'll get 10 pulls towards that. But this isn't the only thing that they're giving away. They're going to be giving away a lot of things towards that. So every single day, we're also going to have a free headhunt. So you'll get a free roll on that banner. So from July 31st to August 14th, you will get the 10 pull one time at the very beginning when the event starts on the 31st. And then you'll get a single pull on that day as well, a single free pull. Then again, afterwards, every day until the 14th, you will get a free headhunt on that, a free single headhunt. Then, of course, they're going to give away the Lungman Lucky Strips again, which is a thing where when you log in, this will pop up on your screen and you pick 2 strips, whichever gives you the highest numbers, what you're going to get. Now, the interesting thing about it is you can get up to 800 around them every day. However, if you get less than 400, the following day, you're going to get to pull 3 strips, and whichever gives you the highest amount, you'll get to keep. That's the amount of Arundum you get. Now, they're giving away other free things. So we're going to get special login stuff. So every day you'll log in, you'll get different things, different items. They're going to send different things in the mail to you. So you'll get guests, as they say, that are going to be sending free packages of, materials, Arundum, headhunting, whatever, LMD, different things to you. And then there's these red packets that are going to get sent to you as well that are going to contain things that on certain days during the event you'll get in your mail. And they actually say that in this, that if you miss a day for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world, because you'll be able to still get those items once you reach a certain amount of logins. So once you've logged in at least so many times, you'll still get the items. So you have to make sure that you're at least logging in daily. Even if you're not planning on playing the event, it's a good idea for the sake of the fact that you're getting these free items and things that in the future are at least beneficial in a lot of different ways, whether it's the materials, the Arundum, the headhunting certs, the LMD, whatever the case may be. So, of course, we also have this. There's going to be a daily sign-in bonus, which will get you this item. It's a furniture piece for in your base. So that'll go in the dorms. And then this is about the blessings, the red packets. This is what I was just talking about. And then, of course, we have this here. It's a special appreciation gift. This was already sent out, but it contains Arundum, LMD, strategic battle records, polymerization prep, crystalline electronic units, nucleic crystal centers, D32 steel, bipolar nanoflakes, chip catalysts, and 2 kernel headhunting permits. This was already sent out to mailboxes. So if you haven't logged in since the 27th when this live stream happened, make sure to log in. This is probably in your mailbox. That's just a generous little appreciation gift. And then, of course, the outfits again. We got to look at those already. We got a little look at those in the one trailer. And then this is just a little promo image for it. They show those off in depth, but it's nothing too crazy that we have to worry about. Now, there's some special re-releases of outfits here from July 31st to August 28th. These are like your focused ones. We have Pazemka's Snowy Plains and Words, Moose's Campfire Cooking Smoke, Proviso's High Autumn, Manticore Under a Veil, Neon's Unfettered Freedom, Kobe's Unfettered, and Waifu's Wildflower the Street. However, they also go on to say that while those are featured, they are rerunning a whole bunch of outfits. We're going to have over 100 outfits in the shop. So that's going to be cool. And if there's any in particular ones that you guys are going to want to pick up, there's going to be a lot of options to choose from. My biggest excitement with this, and I know it kind of seems, slow or behind on things because it's an older outfit. But for me, I've had it on my main account for so long, but my account that I use here for you guys, I don't. I'm hoping that I can get Lapland's refined Horrormare outfit on here. And I believe that it would make sense that it pops in, because it's one that I've seen at any time they do a large distribution of these outfits in the shop. We tend to see that one. And then like Texas's Winter Cambrian outfit and so on and so forth. Those pop up a lot in here. So, and then of course, again, we have furniture sets. We have the Shenlong Temple Fair, which is just a nice look towards the temple fair and the rites that they were just talking about earlier. And then we have the Dahuang Tianqi Institute, which is for the agricultural equipment and stuff like that. So we get to see those. Those are coming and going to be in the shop. And then we have some other special packs and things. Like always, when they do one of these bigger events, there's always fancy packs that are high priced, of course, in some cases. Some are lower, some are higher, but they contain all kinds of things like materials, Originite Primer or Rundum, headhunting certificates, LMD, the battle records, and things like that. And you could get these cheaper ones as well that are the same thing, but they're much less, obviously in the pack. And then they have this $6.99 construction pack as well, which is much less. So it goes in these orders, but then there's also some slightly differing packs as well. So we have the Dahuang Sightseeing Pack for $29.99, $19.99 for the Advanced Special Training Pack. And if you guys have seen these before, and even the $9.99. So like these two here, these training packs are dedicated to your 5 or 6 star operators, to where you'll get of course, your Originate Prime and different things with that pack, but you'll be able to use that training device that comes with that to take usually it's to take either a Elite 2 operator of 5 star or 6 star to full. So once you get them to Elite 2, you use this to get them the rest of the way, because anybody who's Elite 2 to an operator, how many materials and how much LMD and stuff like that it costs to take them from level 1 all the way up to level 80 or level 90, depending on the star rating. So that's a little bit of a pain. It's usually either that, or sometimes you can get these, which obviously I don't believe that's the case now, but sometimes you can get these where those come with the certificate that allows you to take an operator from like level 1 normal straight up to Elite 2 level 1. But that is not how these work. Now, of course, we're also going to get chip packs. They always tend to do this, and it always ties in with at least the featured operators on the banner. So in this case, you'll get the Defender chips and the Guard chips. These are each $4.99. In a way, these aren't super necessary for somebody to buy, at least in my opinion, if you have the sanity and stuff, or like the potions or whatever that you can afford to farm for the chips. But if you don't want to spend all that time farming and then using materials and resources to take regular chips and create the dual chips or the upgraded chips and things to be able to upgrade your operators from regular to Elite 1 and then Elite 1 to Elite 2, then you could buy these chip packs and you'll have all those resources already, but then you'll also get these certificates and things that are used in the process as well. So they're usually for the upgrades and the creation of the chips and so on and so forth. So these things will help. And again, they are featured obviously for Shu and Zuala. So we'll have those as well. Now there's a recruitment update. So if you use the recruitment feature, you will now have the ability to recruit Surtur as a 6 star. So if you get the Topper Senior Operator tags, you have chances to get Surtur or April, and then Ren is in as well. He's a 4 star. Now there's going to be a mini game too. There's going to be this Shu's Experimental Plot agricultural farming mini game where basically you're going to be able to farm your own items and crops and so on and so forth. And basically your idea here is to kind of watch the market as well as the expiration of your goods, see when to sell, try to do the best with farming your items, selling them fresh, getting the best profit and so on and so forth from it. So that's a little bit different. That's going to be an interesting little mini game. And I'm curious as to what it's going to earn you. I'd imagine materials, LMD, things like that, like they've done in the past with mini games like this. So that's just going to be a little bit of additional fun for us to try. And then, of course, they have some other interesting little things here. So from August 2nd to the 21st, Shu's Gourmet Care Plan. Basically, they want to see how the doctors are eating, how the doctors are sticking to their diets and eating properly. They made the joke about doctors' irregular eating habits. So if you post some sort of a picture or something related to food following the rules, which they'll post more on social media about those, you can put the hashtag #DineWithShu, and then you could even submit the post link in this Google form to officially participate in this event, and they'll be giving away prizes and things like that. And then there's also a video creation event. So you'd be able to create videos related to the event, related to the banner, so on and so forth. Post them and put things in however they would like you to submit them. There will be more information on that as well. And again, those are always good chances for creators and stuff like us to be able to win prizes, both in-game and physical prizes. They tend to give away some merch and stuff as well. And then, of course, this is already over. This was the day of the live stream, which was yesterday, the day before I'm recording this, where you could take a screenshot of your favorite moment and then put the hashtags in for chances to win gift cards for either Google Play and whatnot. So now, like I said, here is, this is another event with randomly selected from the 27th through the 31st. 4 lucky doctors selected each day to win either physical or in-game merchandise, so Arundum and things like this. They've got some little stickers, which I'm not exactly sure what these are for, these emojis and stickers, or where to get those. They didn't really make that clear. But here we have the official announcement of the merchandise.
To make it here to Da Huang, so we've naturally prepared lots of special merchandise.
So the merchandise is pretty cool. It's already gone on sale in the Yostar store, and I've actually got a bunch pre-ordered already to show off here. So first things first, I did get this. This is the Shu gift box. So there's a character pin, a special clear glass with a lid, which kind of gives me like a tea vibe. With tea or maybe even coffee or whatever in it.
Really cute.
And an acrylic coaster.
We'll never go hungry if we carry her with us.
She'd blush if she heard that. But as hard as she works, any praise is no exaggeration.
Next are the
so we have more painted glass charms. They've put these out before, and my understanding is they're very nice. They're very well made and very well designed. They're pretty cool as far as the character art.
Only have Ling, Neon, and Dusk,
but we have these 3 sisters, and then of course Shu and Zola. Now they aren't pictured here, but if you go on the Yostar store website, which I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to go to it and check it out. Last I checked, everything was still in stock. And of course, again, this is all pre-order. The estimate for shipping is, I think, mid to late September. But they said, or I should say that a lot of times they give those shipping estimates and then it takes a little bit longer usually. I typically tend to err on the side of give it at least an additional month, maybe a little bit longer before stuff officially ships. There's been a couple of orders that I've gotten that have shipped out relatively quickly, but not all of them. There's the very first one that I made took an extra couple months before it shipped. So it is what it is, but the merchandise is definitely worth it. So don't always go by their estimates. It just depends on their warehouse, the supply, getting the supply in, how many orders they have for stuff, and so on and so forth. But anyways, the official posting for these actually shows that these charms, if you get them, they come with one of the little stands that you can kind of dock it in to sit it on a shelf and pose it to make it good, like you would with some decorative plates and things too.
Little Yanese-style ornaments like these are loved by both locals and tourists. They say they bring you luck.
And I don't have any of these yet, but I did get the Shu one.
Here we have the metal
now their metal pins are always good. Their metal or enamel pins are really nice.
Bring them outside with you or display them at home. They're perfect accessories
This
no
one's
matter where
this
you
one. These
take
are all
or
right, but
place
I
them.
didn't get them because I don't do a lot of stuff with enamel pins or metal pins.
Who can resist this
I did order this
absolutely
Chongyue
cute
plushie, so we'll see what he's like.
It's
The
pretty
quality of the
funny
plushies has
seeing
been
my
amazing so
Chongyue in
far.
this chibi style.
You guys can't really see, but I have a bunch of them on the shelf there
can't
already. I
imagine
have a
it would
couple
be
more over there,
convenient to
and I have
carry that
Fiala
plushie around.
upstairs with me right now.
No worries, because we've prepared a special
And then this little tote
bag
bag is
that'll
cool.
fit him nicely.
I thought by the looks of
The design
things
starts with
initially that this was like one of those that you'd get at the grocery store that's really cheaply made or whatever. I was kind of like, hesitant on it until I actually got onto the listing and saw it. You can actually see it better where the outside looks like a solid cloth or like a canvas type material. And of course you can see some pouches, and then it has the Sui designs and so on with it. However, they also had on the inside, you can see it has a good liner, and it has some pouches and a zipper pouch and stuff on the inside as well. So it's pretty well
and it
made,
follows up with
and
many
it's not super
elements of
expensive
everyone,
either.
So it's a perfect fit for
I did
any
order one of
occasion.
these as well.
It sure is
Because even if I wouldn't
brimming
use
with
it, it's
Yen's
something that my wife would
aesthetics,
use too.
and
So
it'll remind anyone of their time here.
that's pretty cool.
We've also prepared limited gifts and a
Now, of
discount
course,
code.
for each order from July 27th through August 1st, as supplies last, you can get a free Shikishi artboard with the official like art piece for the event, the main event, like key artwork, I should say. And then they have this $5 off coupon, and they usually put coupon codes like this out. They're limited. They only run for so long or for so many orders. So sometimes they run out before. So if you want to use this, make sure to get it soon before August 1st, excuse me. But they usually do these $5 off codes whenever they do the anniversary events and so on.
During the event period, purchase any Arknights related merch and get a Shikishi and commission me to shoot a promo video. Why don't we take a look now?
There's another little mini promo here
Is this the video
that they
from
made,
the
which is kind of
email?
cool.
Let's watch it together.
It's just meant to be like an advertisement for the rice. Essence of the wild, delight in every grain. Now, of course, there was a little bit, she said someone's calling. They just had some like thank you messages from the Yostar staff and so on and so forth. They were just kind of thanking the players for the anniversary and committing to improved events and improved merchandise and stuff in the future, better service and so on and so forth. So I'm actually very excited for this event. I cannot wait. She's like, nope. Bye-bye. You ain't touching my fields. I've worked hard on these. Big smile on her face. There's Ling Chongyue and Dusk. Neon was in the background, but...
Show me what you're made of.
And then we have some little messages from the characters, but the one in particular I find the funniest is... Shoes.
There's a pond up ahead. Nian, I see you adding chili oil to Dusk's cup.
Of course, big sister here.
The villagers tell of a huge Dusk! Pouring ink into Nian's bowl is going too far. Doctor, would you like to go catch? Are you two still fighting? Get over here, both of you!
I like her English voice. I adore her.
It is a pleasure to meet you all. I have not been here long, so I expect you may not know me. I'm delighted to greet you in the form of Shu. I'm Susie Young, the voice of Shu.
Well, thank you, Susie Young, because you just gave life to a really cool character, and I'm anxious to see her. And that is it. That is the gist of the live stream. So, just some final thoughts to wrap up on that. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming with this event. Not just the in-game stuff, but the merchandise and the things they're doing, the giveaways and things for in-game, and off of, obviously, between the video creation contest, the social media contest, things like that. Again, the little videos we didn't go over, they talked about just basically thanking everybody for sticking with the game, for helping them continue to be, you know, what they are, but committing to continuing to put out good, solid content in the future, whether more events, more operators, characters, things, and again, merchandise, improved customer service, things like that. It was all what you'd expect from that side of things. But overall, that's one thing that I love, is the fact that every time I take in these events, every time I take in the story and the content and the characters, I fall deeper and deeper in love with this game and with the story and with the events, and I love to meet new characters. I love to meet new stories. I love to research the lore and things that I didn't pick up on. Let's go and take a look and see, you know, let me figure this out. Let me understand this a little bit more. And they're always so well written, so well done, so deep with it. And it just really, really is awesome to me. I don't know how else to word it. But overall, I'm anxious to see what the gameplay mechanics are like with the event, between dealing with that blight and having the water pumps and things like that. The different enemies don't look too crazy, except for that one, the musk beast that speeds up, the big one that you have to block 3 with. That looks like a pain. The one that's ranged looks like it could be a pain, but with a right ranged operator, might not be so bad. The new operators really seem well tailored to this event, but would also be good for a lot of other things in the future, and events that don't have as much to deal with in terms of, or not even just events, but like story gameplay as well, that doesn't have as much going on the field at once. So we'll have to see how they act in scenarios and things like that. And again, all the stuff that they're giving away and the things that you can get as far as like in the item store, the costumes, there's a lot of really cool things coming. I'm really anxious to see how the story goes, how this story continues as far as this event goes, because we've gotten some little teasers with, obviously, with this blight and something dark coming to Da Huang, and that Shu and Zuala are going to have to confront. Obviously, there's something tied with the Sui siblings, and we still don't know everything about the Fahrenmut and the fragments, the 12 fragments, and so on and so forth. So that's more that's going to play into this. And like I said, the whole potential for that little scene at the end of Where Vernal Winds Will Never Blow with Cheng Yue and the Go board. How is that possibly going to tie into this with seeing that symbolism again? So there's so many really, really neat things that are being shown off and being given away and or told about here. And the boss looks to be a little bit of a tough one, but sometimes the bosses are really hard. Other times it's just like once you get the hang of the mechanic, they're not bad. And then other times it's just kind of like, oh, that wasn't that bad. That was meh. It just depends, and we'll see. Obviously, they gave away that if you have Surtur, you could solo the first form of the boss, so that's not a problem, but we'll see how things go. Other than that, realistically, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet Shu. I'm excited to meet Grainbuds and Wanqing, and I'm excited to enter into Da Huang. Let me know what you guys think of the event, of just the teaser or the preview that we're getting here. Or if you play on the Chinese server and you've played the event already. Obviously, don't give me story spoilers because I want to learn that as I record the event and play it for you guys. But let me know what you think of it if you've played it on that server and how the gameplay mechanics are. Are they annoying? Are they good? Are they bothersome? You know, whatever the case, give me like a general idea of them. And again, for those of you that haven't, that you're on the same end as me getting ready to play it, let me know what you think of the look of it so far and what they talked about in this anniversary live stream. Or, on the flip side, if you guys are picking up any of the merch like I got, let me know what you're getting. I want to see. I want to talk about it. And when it finally comes in, of course, we will do an unboxing and show that video here on the channel for you guys. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your days to watch my video and hang out with me here on the channel. If you want to help support, there are a couple ways you can always do it. You can like the video. That's going to help me get out there. Free for you to do. Helps me. And same thing, you could subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you haven't seen things before, or you watch the content, you just haven't taken the time to hit that little button, hit the subscribe, and the little bell will also let you pick how you want your notifications. You can get notified anytime I upload or go live with things in the future. And then last but not least, if you guys want to help me in my quest to get Shu, which I'm already pretty well prepared for on my content account, but you guys want to help me get Shu or one of the other operators in the future, there is a link in the description where you can buy me an operator. Leave a note, tell me what video you saw that on, and I will use that money in the future towards getting either a pack in the store or Originite Prime out of the shop. We'll shout you guys out in that video and then use that towards headhunting, try and get some operators to add to our team. With that being said, that is it for this one, guys, and I will see you next time.